head. No, General, we contracted psychiatric efforts to Hamilton Diversified, who refused to let their people attend this meeting without the company attorneys. Typical. But I spoke with one of their junior psychiatrists, a bright kid named Alderson, assigned to one of the deployed observation and maintenance teams. He had an interesting insight. Alderson thinks that experience plays a greater role in the girl's emotional development than was previously modeled, and that the problem is one of contradiction. Somehow realities at the front undermine their belief in God and the afterlife, make them doubt faith is the answer, and we don't know why. The general's anger faded. Maybe he had misjudged this particular scientist. It wasn't the answer he wanted, wasn't a roadmap to a solution, but it was enough to seed an idea in Urquhart's mind, a notion that made him shiver with a sense that one day he and every man in the room would wind up in hell. I think I know why. His scientists turned their attention back to him, and the general sensed in them a kind of skeptical amusement. You people are idiots. Psychiatrists, biologists, fucking hell. He shouted now, his teeth almost biting through the cigar. This is war! I can't believe I can see the problem, and yet we pay you people millions each year to figure these things out for us. What the hell are we paying you for? I shouldn't have to fix this. He paused, scanning the room slowly, enjoying the moment for what it was, and noticing sweat had appeared on some of their foreheads as he pulled deeply at the cigar. General, someone said, what's your idea? None of you have been in combat, and yet here you are, psychologically programming these girls for a combat environment, using religion not to infuse a sense of faith and duty, but to make them fearless. They know that if they die in war, they go straight to heaven. It's a start, but here's the problem. It doesn't mesh. Down in the tunnels, once your friends start dying and the shit hits the fan, reality is a whole different thing from what these girls are being taught. Faith is a funny concept. Either you have it or you don't. And war tends to mess with whatever scrap of it you might have. He stubbed out the cigar on the scientist's table, leaving a black mark on its lacquered surface. So for now, we do nothing. I have to reassign Special Forces units to their new mission, hunting down your mistakes. But the second batch of girls, the newer models, is almost in position for our counterattack. In a few weeks, we retake the mines and hold as best we can. In the meantime, we wait. As he headed for the door, his aides holding it open, the scientist who had done most of the talking called after him. General, I'm lost. Wait for what? The girls, said General Urquhart. They sense that what they're taught about faith is bullshit. That it all came from someone who doesn't know war, a bunch of four-eyed eggheads with no balls to speak of, and even less experience. We need them to learn from someone who speaks their language, one of their own, someone who's seen the ass end of humanity and still reported for discharge. So keep the psychiatrist in the field conducting interviews and assign this guy Alderson to watch the most promising girls, to look out for one that seems better than the rest. We're looking for someone who can tell the story of faith and war in a way that rings true for all the others, and will record every single thing she says about it. Incorporate it into our future mental conditioning packages. We're waiting for a genetically engineered saint. And more than that, we need what the Greeks used to call a psychopomp. Before anyone could ask, he gritted his teeth and said, Look it up, assholes! Chapter 1. Spoiling. And you will come upon a city cursed, and everything that festers in its midst will be as a disease. Nothing will be worthy of pity, not insects, animals, or even men. Modern Combat Manual, Joshua 6:17. Live forever. The thought lingered like an annoying dog, to which I had handed a few scraps. I felt Megan's fingers against my skin and smelled the paste, breathed the fumes gratefully, for it reminded me that I wouldn't have to wear my helmet.